Erislandy, felicidades. ¿Qué significa esta victoria?
Bueno, primero que todo, gracias por el apoyo, significa mucho para mí, ya que logré un paso más en mi carrera y para seguir demostrando que todavía estoy activo y puedo seguir dando el problema a todos los boxeadores de la división.
Se sintió un poco rápido, bien, se antojó fácil, ¿no?
Él venía ya con su propósito, como lo dijo en la conferencia, no sé si se acuerdan, el día de press conference, que me iban a quedar y parece que eso fue lo que lo motivó a venir al frente y se encontró con el golpe.
Yeah, he said, you know, he hit him with a hard, sharp shot. He said, yeah, well, he thinks that LaManna mindset going into the fight was, I'm gonna knock out Lara, and he ran right into the punch. You know, he walked him right into the shot. So it was a picture-perfect shot. It kind of reminded me of when Martinez hit Paul Williams with that one overhand left hand, just put him right out. You know.
Do you think he was a qualified and credible opponent for you?
¿Tú crees que era cualificado para pelear contigo, muchacho?
Todos los boxeadores son calificados. Cualquier boxeador que sube en cualificado para pelear contra otro boxeador, ahí te dan cuenta que está calificado.
Yeah, he says every fighter who steps in the ring for him is qualified, you know, and you know, you always got to be prepared because there could be upsets. As you saw, you know, you'll see that when Ruiz beat Joshua or when Buster beat Tyson, you just got to be ready at all times, you know, and like he says, every fighter that steps in the ring, for him, they pose a threat.
I mean, the press conference is already taking longer than the fight. Would he have liked to have more rounds?
¿Te gustaría pelear un poco más sobre la pelea?
¿Pelear?
¿Tú peleas más round?
Es que lo que pasa, cuando yo peleo más round me critican, cuando peleo que se acaba rápido la pelea también. Entonces no sé qué decir.
He says, you know, when he boxes a guy and embarrasses him for 12 rounds, they critique him and they say that he's not exciting, he's boring. Now he knocks a guy out in 30 seconds or a minute. Now they're saying, well, you should have took the fight longer. So, you know, he can't win either way. He's saying, you know, he just got to do his job and keep winning.
¿Qué viene ahora?
Viene ahora, bueno, ahora voy para mi casa y a descansar y esperar que mi manager y Cuba Junior y a Germen se hagan cargo de lo demás.
So he's going to go home, he's going to rest, he's going to wait for his team, you know, to put together a plan. But the plan is now, you know, is for Lara to fight a big fight. It's not because he doesn't want to. You know, these guys are, the reality, they're not winning the fight. I mean, when they are willing, you see he's in big fights and he's in tough fights. He's fought in the toughest fights in the division.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're right. People do call you boring, but you've had a great stretch now. The fight with Hurd was the fight of the year. The fight with Castano was really good too. So you had a few easier fights after that, which no one can blame you for. But what do you want next? I want to see the Jared Hurd fight. I told Louis.
Dice que todo el mundo puede decir lo que quieren, pero ahora quieren pelear una buena pelea. Tenía la pelea del año con Hurd, tenía una pelea buena con Castaño, ahora viene de 2 knockouts de las últimas 3 peleas. Él le encantaría la pelea, la revancha de Hurd. ¿Qué pelea te gusta a ti?
A mí me gusta cualquiera, de la división, la que venga. El problema es que ellos quieran pelear conmigo, muchos de ellos se les piden la revancha y no quieren pelear.
Yeah, he says, you know, he'll fight anybody. You know that he wants to fight the best. The problem here is, you know, he wants to fight and they don't. You know, we've been trying to get the Jared Hurd fight immediately after the fight. You know, and you know, he wasn't successful doing that. Hurd didn't want to fight him. So, like he says, he's willing to fight whoever.
You've already accomplished a lot at 154 pounds. Is 160 just more comfortable for you now, and more? You have new goals?
¿Tú crees que 160 es más cómodo para ti o te gustaría ir para atrás 54 o 60?
Me siento cómodo también en 54 y en 60. Sí, yo siempre he caminado en 154. Tengo toda mi vida entera, mi carrera entera en esa división, 154 libras, y creo que subir a 160 me sentí un poquito más cómodo, pero en sí me siento bien en la división.
He says he feels pretty comfortable at both weight classes. You know, he does know that at 54 has been his whole career, and including in Cuba. I think I want to say he's been at that weight class 19 years, I want to say. You know, at 54, so he did feel stronger at 60, but you know, he obviously he doesn't know the bigger fights at 54.
For you, you know, because you manage him, what big fight for you do you think makes the most sense for him, like name-wise, within the PBC stable?
And I think the winner of the Charlo and Castagna fight would be a great fight, right? They're going to need a top-level guy, and like Mike said, the Hurd rematch was the fight of the year, sensational. You know, I think there's a lot of, you know, guys like Danny Garcia wants to move up to 54. That would be, you know, a classic fight. Cuban and Mexican, Cuban and Puerto Rican, and you know, he's gonna have his eyes on, you know, anyone else that's there. But obviously, I think if one jumps out, it's the winner of Charlo and Castagna.
So just to be clear, he's going to go back and forth with divisions depending on the fight.
He's definitely going back and forth, but his preference is probably 54. You know, but he looked pretty damn sharp tonight. You know, and And I've been kind of telling him that as you watched Hopkins.
Lucky shot.
Stayed at 60, stayed at 60 so long. And then when he did move up to 68, he, you know, rejuvenated him, you know what I'm saying? So me personally, I would like him at 60 because I think it's so much easier for him to make weight, but he does understand the big fights are 54. And like he says, he can make 54 pretty well as well.
Yeah, the Charlo fight could be the biggest one out there, though. Is that something where he would be comfortable immediately after, or would he need another fight at 160?
Well, we're saying Charlo at 54. That's the fight he wants to win. You're saying Charlo at 60?
Yeah.
¿Te gustaría pelear con Charlo también 60 o con quién?
Tuvimos muchos años entrenando juntos, pero si hay que pelear, hay que pelear. Como si fuera una familia.
He said, you know, Jamal's like family to him. You know, more Jamal than Jamel. They worked together for a lot of years. But he says this is boxing. You know, if it's a sport, and you know, I'm pretty sure NBA players are good friends. They got to play. So if he's got to fight, he's got to fight.
Yeah, Louis, obviously Lara's getting older now, he's accomplished a lot. You were saying, like, how much longer do you think he can be at this top level? You see a lot of longevity for him?
Man, big time. I mean, I go to the gym every time with it, like expecting him to fall off, you know, and I'm like waiting for it. And it's like, Jesus, the guy doesn't get old, you know. Like the perfect reference is Hopkins. People started to give Hopkins more credit the longer his career went on. But what he's been able to do at this top level and keep fighting these guys and you know, whether they're top guys or the guys like LaManna, you know, just to get in there and get the road work at the age and what he's accomplished is pretty amazing.
Yeah, Erislandy, like, how many years do you want to fight?
¿Cuántos años quiere pelear?
Hasta que me siga sintiendo bien. De momento me siento bien, no soy un boxeador que no he cogido mucho golpe, no estoy lastimado y creo que puedo esperar 2 o 3 años más.
He says he feels great, you know, until his body tells him he can't do it no more. He's a fighter. He doesn't feel he's taken a lot of punishment or a lot of punches in his career, and he thinks he's got at least another 3 years of prime boxing left. You know.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have everybody? Hey, you guys.